Okay, let's dive straight into this explainer and explore exactly how humanity invented tools to see things our eyes simply can't. We're pulling from a really fascinating lecture by cognitive scientist Professor Judy Fan, and we're going to uncover how humans developed tools to reveal completely invisible patterns, transforming hidden mechanics and massive, chaotic statistics into brilliant, simple visuals.
Here is our roadmap for today. First, tools for the invisible. Second, the art of visual abstraction. Third, depiction versus explanation. Fourth, the data visualization superpower. And finally, mastering our cognitive tools.
This whole journey actually builds from early humans, 30 to 80,000 years ago, turning plain rock walls into carriers of meaning. Then, fast forward to the 1600s with René Descartes inventing Cartesian coordinates, and jump all the way up to 1786 when William Playfair drew the very first data plots. It's just this incredible, continuous timeline of human innovation.
Which brings us to Section 1, Tools for the Invisible. Nature didn't give us straight lines. So what exactly is a cognitive tool? The crucial point here is that it's not just a physical object, like a hammer or a wrench. As Professor Fan points out, it's a material object that encodes information. You can really think of it as a cognitive prosthetic that literally changes how we process information and completely expands what our brains are capable of thinking about.
As the famous Spanish architect Antoni Gaudí once said, there are no straight lines or sharp corners in nature. Nature didn't hand us the number line, right? It didn't give us a perfect square. But we went ahead and invented them anyway, simply because our minds craved that exact structure to solve complex problems.
Just think about the ancient Oracle of Delos puzzle. For millennia, the smartest people in the world were totally stumped by this riddle. How do you exactly double the volume of a perfect cube? Well, René Descartes' geometric curves, literally the exact same x and y axes we all had to draw in middle school, gave us the cognitive tool to solve ancient, previously impossible puzzles like that, just by locating points of intersection.
Moving right along to Section 2, the art of visual abstraction, highlighting what matters most.
You can think of visual abstraction as taking a super busy, messy picture and just ruthlessly deleting everything except the most essential details. It's the act of communicating what we see and know about our world in a format that deliberately highlights only what is actually relevant to notice.
And it's wild when you realize that basically every major historical breakthrough relied entirely on abstracting away all that visual noise to reveal hidden truths. Whether it's the specific drawings of Darwin's finches that make subtle beak variations pop, Galileo sketching the moons of Jupiter, Ramon y Cajal mapping out the microscopic retina, or Feynman diagrams tracking subatomic particles, visual abstraction is quite literally the secret engine of scientific discovery.
Okay, Section 3, Depiction versus Explanation, drawing how it looks versus how it works.
This stark contrast actually creates a massive aha moment. We naturally know to drop all that useless background fluff and add explicit action arrows when we want to explain how a machine actually functions. A simple depiction focuses on identifying the object and keeping its beautiful visual appearance. But an explanation sacrifices that visual fidelity to highlight the causal parts and the underlying mechanism. Researchers actually tested this. They asked people to draw novel little contraptions. Some were asked to draw the object just so someone could identify it, while others were told to draw it so someone could understand how it works. The results were clear. Our brains actively choose to delete useless visual information, like colorful structural backgrounds, to focus purely on the mechanics. People instantly prioritize drawing those causal parts and action arrows.
Because an effective visual explanation makes it instantly clear whether you need to pull an initial lever, rotate a causal gear, or push a button to get the machine working. When your goal is to operate the mechanism, you really don't care what color the machine is painted.
So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that sometimes making things less visually accurate actually makes them so much easier for our brains to understand. Explanations demand that we trade beautiful visual fidelity for abstract mechanistic truth. Which brings us to Section 4, the data visualization superpower, the modern telescope for the mind.
Professor Fan notes that so many individual observations can be distilled into a single graphic that tells a story you can read just by looking. William Playfair totally proved this back in 1786 with his chart of English imports and exports. He essentially took this massive, sleep-inducing list of trade numbers and turned it into an instant visual story.
Make no mistake, data visualization is a literal superpower. Learning to interpret graphs provides us with this incredible ability to understand statistical evidence instantly. It compresses millions of invisible, chaotic data points into a single readable narrative. It's like a magic microscope for the mind, allowing us to see huge societal phenomena that are way too large, too noisy, or too slow for our actual eyes to catch.
And interestingly enough, our human graph-reading superpower is still vastly superior to cutting-edge AI. When tested on graph-based reasoning, human adults score way above advanced visual AI models like GPT-4v. The AI actually makes totally different types of mistakes than we do, which shows that we have developed a highly specialized, deeply human cognitive skill for reading these abstractions.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, Mastering Our Cognitive Tools, Shaping the Future of Understanding.
Studies show that even non-experts are incredibly audience-sensitive. That means they intuitively know exactly which optimal visual format will best answer a specific question. When trying to figure out which group is better or tracking a value over time, people don't just blindly pick their favorite graph type. They adapt. They instinctively pick the ideal visual tool for that specific goal.
And this is exactly why this entire topic matters so much. As Professor Fan states, every generation of human learners should be able to stand on the shoulders of the last and see further. By mastering these cognitive tools, we're building a rock-solid educational foundation that lets the next generation see even further into the invisible.
So, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. The next time you glance at a chart in your daily life, whether it's on the evening news or just popping up on your fitness app, will you recognize the incredible cognitive superpower you are using to decode it? What invisible patterns will you discover the next time you read a simple chart? Thanks for diving into this explainer with me, and keep exploring the invisible.